likely the genius inventor, Dr. Empire Coulomb, who, supposedly, with the mere push of a button, can flip a kill switch and slaughter everyone who has a cybernetic enhancement and inject them with Ichor to create an army of Ichor beasts. This threat has been used to keep the Commissioner in line, but if the party makes it clear the Commissioner cannot control you, who knows what will happen to the population of this city. The lives of everyone in Edict hang in the balance. As Zephyr, Gil, Caleb, and Raccoon meet with a drug lord, Keto and Lucian conclude their meeting with an information broker, Neon. Let me flip over the music real quick. When we left you off last week, Officer Voter said that he has a plan that just may be able to get you guys out of this situation. Also, real quick before I dive fully in, we are still on the starting soon screen.
Oh, so we are. Oh! The Gamecaster crash. Oh, no, there it goes.
Alright. Neon, Officer Voter kind of leans to you, and where we left off. I have a plan, but we'll likely need you and your comrades' help to do it. But it's more subtle than just trying to launch an all-out attack on the Foxfire Network Tower.
Sorry about that. Can you try that one more time? My friggin' headphones came unplugged.
No worries. He was saying that he has a plan, but it'll likely require the input of your party, but it'll be more subtle than just doing an all-out siege on the network tower.
Cough, cough, kill.
Well, I'm willing to hear you out, at least, but not sure how subtlety will go over with this party.
He kind of smiles at you, and again glancing around to make sure that nobody's listening. Everyone loves to say that I'm the cock of the walk of the Peacekeepers, but there was one thing that I never quite got the hang of. Hacking. You, however, are, if I may be so bold, excellent at it.
Oh, shucks, you flatter me.
Like I said, I don't know exactly who the Commissioner's in contact with or what he's planning, so if we can get into the Foxfire Tower data files and all communications outside of the city and even within go through that tower. If you can get me access to those files, I can see who he's been in contact with and what they've been saying to each other. But we'll need you to hack into it to do so.
Definitely sounds safer.
And if you can get me that data, that means we'll have enough evidence to turn the Commissioner over to the rest of the Peacekeepers. We'll need more evidence than just suspicions and the activities of criminals. We need solid proof that he's up to something and can be charged with conspiracy against the generals.
Well, that's all well and nice in theory, but why not just be direct and just put the bastard down?
He thinks for a moment, and I won't lie to you, Cadet, the thought has crossed my mind, but it'll be easier to convince our fellow Peacekeepers to arrest him than it will be to have them kill him. It's going to be a tough sell enough getting everyone to turn on their former boss, but hopefully with solid enough proof that he's up to no good. However, rest assured, if it comes to that, not only will I not stop you, I'll happily do it myself. The Peacekeepers can say whatever they like, but I don't know what he's planning exactly, but if it's putting lives at risk, then I will not hesitate to put him down if it comes to that.
Yeah, you'd be a good replacement. Keep your hands clean. Let me take care of that.
You really think so?
I've got nothing to lose in this front anyways.
He looks at you kind of sympathetically and gives a small nod. Very well. There's a wedding that's going to be happening fairly soon. Sometime in the next week. They keep shifting the schedule around. But you know how there's often parties happening at the Foxfire Tower?
I do.
That means not everyone in that tower is a peacekeeper or a security guard. Whenever a party like this happens, they hire peacekeepers to ensure that no criminals from Lower Edict come up to cause any trouble. Which means, and he looks to you, a couple more peacekeepers won't be missed. But given that, and he kind of gestures to you, they'll be looking for you, I did consider a backup plan once I saw that the situation has escalated. They're going to have peacekeepers there as security for the upcoming party, but not only will there need to be guards and peacekeepers, there will also need to be staff. Perhaps we can pull some strings and get you and your friends hired as butlers, valets, that sort of thing, which means nobody in Upper Edict is going to look twice at you.
That's quite the promotion. That is a solid plan.
And luckily, peacekeepers like me will be drawing attention. You know how it is. It gives the party a sense of danger to have a peacekeeper there. Which means even more than normal, they won't be looking twice at the servants. So, if I can get you and your friends in, once the party starts, you should be able to make it at least most of the way up the tower without being stopped. However, beyond that point, once you get into classified areas, security is going to get tighter, and I'm afraid you're on your own. What you do at that point? And he kind of pauses and takes a drink. I won't begrudge you for whatever happens. The suspicions that I'm proposing are mine. I have no proof beyond anything that's not admissible in court. So, I will take the fall for whatever you and your friends decide to do in there.
No, you won't. Quit talking stupid. Anything goes wrong, it's the work of outside insurgents.
He kind of pauses initially and then looks to you with like a surprised smile. Well, look at you learning tactics.
Hey, I didn't go through the, how many months? 2 months of training? For nothing.
He kind of pats your head. It's good to have you back, Cadet.
Wish it could be under better circumstances, but whatever.
If we survive this, I'll buy you a drink.
Buy me 2 and then we got a deal.
Sounds like a plan, little fox. Alright. You let your friends know the plan. I'll see about pulling some strings. Do you want to just meet back here, say, 2 days?
2 days should be plenty.
He gives a nod. I'll see when they have the wedding planned right now. Maybe I can convince the bride to just pick a date and stick with it.
Here's hoping.
Oh, and just in case this is a deal breaker, I feel like I should warn you. Those parties, I know you've never exactly been, but they're not just weddings and inauguration ceremonies. Things can sometimes get a little, dark.
Don't worry, I have dark vision.
You may wish you didn't.
I see. I assume you don't mean dark as in lighting.
Well, it can be, but not exactly what I was implying. Let's just say the bride and the groom are planning to have the honeymoon on the day of the wedding, if you catch my meaning.
Their ears kind of stiffen up like, oh, I see what you mean.
Dark.
If you or any of your friends are a little squeamish, you may want to start scaling the tower before the wedding finishes.
Looking at you, Lucian.
I agree.
Good luck to you.
But at this rate, we're gonna need it.
Alright. And Neon, I presume you leave the free flow lounge?
Yep. Although I will leave Morrigan kind of on the outside of town, you know, just kind of parked in a corner somewhere, so that you know, I don't draw the attention of literally every single human being in the human being, quote unquote, in the city with news of a giant fucking mecha walking around.
Fair. Alright. In that case, Zephyr, Gil, Caleb, as the leader of the Reapers starts to gather various things, presumably the chemicals of for Star Blast that he had promised, he looks to all of you and, follow me. I'll take you out to where I keep the unconventional stock. And he...
As far as Starblast goes, please make sure it is clean. And that won't get hooked on anything else. You know. Business is still business.
I like clean.
Relax. Our business model isn't to kill our clientele.
Yeah, that would be bad for business.
I mean, they can't handle their drugs, you know.
He walks you guys outside of the barn and circles you around to Zephyr. You recognize the same little shed that he had taken you to the first time. And opening the shed up with a small key, he allows all of you entry into it, where you can see various things, just knickknacks, seemingly junk and things, stacked up nearly to the ceiling. As I mentioned, some have to resort to unconventional means of payment to keep their supply. Rest assured, this is all more valuable than it looks, otherwise I wouldn't have accepted it as fair trade. Feel free to browse, and if you have any special requests, just say the word. In the meantime, I'll be in the barn getting a fresh batch ready for you. And he nods to you, Gil.
I appreciate it. And he will start browsing.
Is Starblast supposed to be moonshine?
But
It's actually not anything in particular, but yeah, you could make that comparison. As he's making his way away, he kind of snaps his fingers and, you, miss, please, make sure that these customers can find the things they need. I'll be in the barn. Yes, sir. And a, somewhat skinny elvish woman, with a laser rifle carried delicately in her arms, approaches. You can see she is a light elf, presumably of Geogrin descent, of course, with black hair braided back over her shoulder. And she simply stands next to the door in case any of you have any specific requests or need any help. It just kind of watches you idly as you guys are free to rifle through the junk at your leisure.
Does she look familiar at all?
Make a history check.
Oh!
Luckily, Gil's history is better than the previous person's. And I spoke too soon. How's a 12?
No, she doesn't seem familiar at all.
Okay.
So, we'll take this one at a time. Zephyr, what items do you pick up?
Well, I mean... I wish I knew more about items, to be honest.
You can always come back later, assuming the city's still here.
Well, yeah, but it's also just like, I just don't... In general, I was like, an item shop. Like, what items do it have? I don't know. I mean, we have like what, an hour, so you can browse. We have some browsing. An hour to kill here. So I think I definitely want to get like a bag of holding. Probably, space is a bit of pain for me. And yeah, like as I mentioned before, any communication items you can find. And I don't know if you have it, but the ring I talked about earlier, if it's there.
Let me double check your messages here.
Ring of mind shielding.
Okay. Alright.
If it's there,
Just a
but
second to check.
those are the only items I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. Let me grab this.
In fact, I might buy like a second bag of holding. Just be like, you know what? Space.
Just don't put your bag of holding inside another bag of holding.
Yeah, I was gonna say, keep them separate. We don't want any colossal disasters going on.
Yeah, just party wipe. Just like, you know what? Fuck it. Just
Yeah, fuck it.
everyone gone.
Alright, Zephyr, for all three of those, it'll run you 1,500 gold.
Okay, not as bad. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, no, I'll get like I'm assuming it's 500 each.
Yeah.
So I'll get like a second bag of whole or ding. So it's I'm assuming that's 2,000, right?
Yes.
All right.
Alright. So, Zephyr, as you browse, again, everything in here is clearly secondhand, but you have at least a basic idea of what you're looking for. So, you grab two somewhat gnarled and weathered-looking leather bags, a small dual set of earpieces,
Earpieces.
and a ring.
Yes.
The elvish woman looks to you, Zephyr, and is that about it for you?
I believe. Sadly, I don't know of all these items that you have, so.
We have a little bit of everything. Feel free to browse, but
Well, items aren't. Items are new. Of a new sort of thing I've been collecting, so I don't know what they do. So unless I spend some time, spend a good amount of time here, I don't really know what does what. I'd rather not waste my money.
suppose that's fair enough. If you have the time, I can help explain some of it to you, but otherwise, you're free to simply buy what you have and come back when you have more free time.
Possibly. Well, when do you think, when do you think he'll finish his batch?
Oh, it shouldn't take too long. It's mostly just getting a new batch brewing before he sells you what we already have. We like to always make sure a stock is maintained at all times. Last thing Addict wants to hear whenever they show up desperate for their next dose is that we need a few hours to set it up. So we try to play it on the safe side. He should be ready by the time you and your friends finish gathering your things. Take your time.
Okay.
Gil, as you browse through the piles, what do you grab?
So, I'm looking for something that'll help boost his armor rating. Like maybe a ring of disguise self or something like that, and some weapons and something to help speed him up. He wants more movement speed.
Armor rating? Wait, what?
Like his AC.
I know what you mean. I know what the armor rating. I was just like, you said armor rating and you said disguise self. Like, what? Or, like, I'm guessing you mean, like, two different things.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought you were saying, like, maybe a disguise self will give you higher armor rating. Like, what?
No.
Yeah.
Alright. As you look around, the disguise self is actually relatively easy to find. You find a small, almost like a headband of sorts, that creates a holographic disguise. You can buy the Hat of Disguise if you wish.
Okay.
That'll run you 500.
Okay.
Remember the time you had that and then you gave it to your sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then remember the time you tried to use, even though technically I realized like later on that you used it wrong, but like used it on me, used it against my sister.
I remember that.
I'm just trying to think, didn't she hug you? So she hugged your crotch.
What?
The oddest thing I've heard Gil do, so.
What?
He used it on our sister, trying to pretend to be me. So he acted really short. It doesn't actually change you physically, just like an illusion. So if she hugged him as me at my level, so it'd be at like either his leg or his crotch level. So technically, yeah.
I feel like that probably is, like, probably violates some rules.
And Gil, I believe as a barbarian, if you were to wear actual armor, that it would take away one of your bonuses.
No,
so
I'm like looking for like a ring of protection or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like ring of protection or shield.
You can get a cloak of protection, and there is
I like how barbarians actually get weaker if they wear clothes.
Yeah. So I'll say, just to help me narrow it down, would you be more interested in a shield or something that just passively raises your AC?
You get like the arrow catching shield, which gives you like a +4 to like range attacks.
+2, but yeah.
Well, no, it gives you a +2 as a normal shield, but it says it gives you additional.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's in addition. Yeah, good point.
Because I have it.
Yeah, I think the shield would be better.
Okay. Do you want the arrow catching shield, the battering shield, which gives you a +3 bonus total, and you can also push a creature to knock them prone?
Yeah, I want that one.
Okay.
Back. Shield back.
As you are digging through the various things, you find what appears to have been at one point a Peacekeeper shield, and looking it over, it has this like fine red metallic finish, and seems to have some pistons in place to essentially like extend the shield very powerfully and rapidly. You can pick up the battering shield for 5,000.
Ooh, I don't have that.
Damn, that'd be steep for even Caleb's pockets.
Magic items, man.
Okay, what other shields do they have?
Assuming you're looking for one in your price range,
They have a basic wooden shield.
I've already got that.
He has a shield,
Yeah.
and he never uses it.
Well, it's equipped. I just don't visually say, "Oh, I got the shield right here."
And plus, to be fair, since the gauntlets you were using were two-handed, it wasn't really being taken into account at that time either. The only shield you can afford would be a +1 shield.
Okay, then how about that? How about that cape then?
Yep, you can afford a Cloak of Protection, which gives you a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws while wearing it.
Yeah, basically, it's like a ring.
Okay, and how much is that?
That will run you 500.
Okay. And then something to enhance his speed.
All right. Also, I will say for flavor, the Cloak of Protection, it actually looks a lot like Caleb's Ghost Cloak, except instead of that kind of fine, like, Arctic camo, it's more of a traditional, like, greenish-brown urban camo.
Didn't Caleb get his recolored?
I believe so.
I mean,
but
the colors he normally wears, white and gold.
Yeah, so Cloak of Protection, 500, and then something to increase your speed. Looking around, you are having trouble finding anything, because bear in mind, I'm assuming you want to keep those rocket boots, so it's a little tricky finding something that can increase your speed without, like,
Putting shoes on.
Yeah. I'm actually checking myself to see if that's even possible. Give me just a second, sorry.
Trying to think of like the speed builds or anything other items. The only thing I can think about is the boots.
Everything you can find would require you giving up the rocket boots to receive their benefits.
Yeah, so you get speed, but sacrifice your flight.
So you can either have a flight speed or a faster walking speed.
Okay, how about... do I see any, like, antlers of ogre or something? Like something to increase his strength?
Yeah, get some like crazy. I don't know if you could afford those.
The gauntlets of ogre power. I will point out. Let me double check your stats. It actually wouldn't affect you if you bought them.
Yeah, some of them like just give you like a set.
Yeah, it gives you a set strength of 19, and it has no effect if it's 19 or higher. Normally, I would. I will say, if circumstances were less dire, the Reapers would happily just let you buy it and figure that out yourself. But given the circumstances, they're not exactly looking to rip people off right now.
That's highly appreciated. So I guess something.
I know there's a belt that can go up, can give you like 25 strength or something like that. I'm crazy, but like it's in the legendaries. Also, how would you put on the gauntlets?
Yeah, your arms are...
I forgot about my arms being screwed up right now.
I just realized like you're trying to put gauntlets on top of gauntlets.
Get on them.
Double gauntlet power.
I wonder if D&D Beyond would even let you do that.
I mean, probably.
D&D Beyond would probably let you do it, but it would just be up to the player and the DM to be like, hey, you can't.
Like, can you wear, like... Hang on, can Caleb wear, like...
I'm pretty sure you could. It just, yeah, it'd be weird. It just wouldn't function.
Oh, that's just silly.
What,
I can have Caleb wear studded leather and his ghost armor to get his AC up to 15.
15? Wait.
Yeah, there was something that... I remember we had to do an override for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
What's that for?
How about
If I recall, it's because I couldn't get the ghost armor to like count it towards your AC, so I had to do an override. Also, what, Gil?
what about something to cause him to be invisible?
Would you allow that, Manty? Would you? Because, like, I guess in theory, like, if it's just like leather pieces, he could actually just put them over the armor.
Yeah, like I think I'd be all right with that. Yeah, I've had players do that before. Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay. Which also answers the question for something Caleb was going to ask about.
It'd just be uncomfortable.
But you know,
Well,
it's more about keeping yourself alive. So
I imagine it was like he took like pieces of the armor and just added it on over what he was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually a very common thing to do with armor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it helps with its protection and stuff. Giving something to absorb blows and something so that the armor doesn't cut into you.
And I will say, while you do see a couple items that could do that, they are very much outside of your price range.
Okay. Last item, and then I'm done if I can't afford it. What about the Ring of X-Ray Vision?
Outside of your price range, I'm afraid.
Yeah, basically,
how much
if
does he have?
Like, I believe your price range is uncommon.
3,000.
What?
I have 3,000.
Yeah, 3,000, and Austin was saying that, so basically he can't afford anything that's of a rarity that's rare or more. He can only afford a common or uncommon item.
Yes, Caleb would be in the same boat, actually.
Alright, so Gil, if you are content with your chosen items, you got the Hat of Disguise, and did you say you wanted the +1 shield?
No, I got the Cloak of Protection.
Alright, Cloak of Protection and Hat of Disguise, that'll be 1,000 in total.
I already took out the money, as I
Alright.
put them in my inventory.
Alright. And lastly, Caleb. Again, if you have an in-character request, you can approach the Reaper or
the
just
thing that
browse.
Caleb is looking for would be he'd be looking at things like light armor or weapons. And specifically a light armor that he could feasibly put on what he's wearing.
Okay, and yeah, I'll do you solid and just filter it to anything you can afford.
Well, Gil will also, because would Caleb say, "Hey, I can't afford this," or something?
Like Caleb has more money than both of us.
Caleb has 3,042.
I know, but would you actually say, like, "Oh, I can't afford this item," and put it down? Or are you just looking for, or are you just going to look for things that you know are in your price range? I'm offering to help lend you some money to help you get a better item.
Like a rare item.
And I'm just trying to find an in-game way to do so.
Yeah.
I don't know if Caleb would. He would probably just look at things, and if the guy Like, I don't think Caleb would be able to appraise the value of things, so he'd probably look at it and then ask the guy how much it is, and if he says a number he doesn't like, he puts it down.
But just for the sake of inclusion, I will go ahead and like basically note that like basically like you effectively have enough money to get something else. All right, so you have quite a few. So yeah, you're looking for light armor that you can wear under your cloak. You see quite a few ones that catch your attention as possibly being useful.
You already have a set of studded, so preferably something that offers something more than studded leather can offer.
Okay. You see a set of glamored studded leather, which would not only give you the benefits of studded leather, it gives you a +1 to AC as well, and you can use a bonus action to cause the armor to appear like a normal set of clothes. So basically, you could wear the armor and blend in. There is the leather golem armor. Which again gives you that same bonus. Also applies it to saving throws against spells and magical effects, and it makes you outright immune to spells that would alter your form, like polymorph, and you gain a resistance to lightning damage, and lightning damage actually heals you for 5 temp HP.
That sounds like a rare item.
I thought he was already taking into account price range.
I mean, I was like, that sounds like we're on. I was like, definitely, like, at least not uncommon.
Keeping it light.
Because he can't. That's the only armor he can wear.
You could also, of course, just get +1 armor. Those are the only ones you see that. Basically, and a set of Mariner's armor that gives you a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. However, given that you have the...
the Cloak of Banteray.
Yeah, that's basically useless to Coulomb.
You can get the leather golem armor, or the glamored studded leather, or a set of +1 armor of your choice.
So is the +1, like it'll be the normal amount of AC +1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay, so how much would each of those cost?
The +1 armor would cost you.
And that would basically be +2 to AC instead of the +1, right?
Yeah. The +1 armor of your choice would run you 2,500, assuming you're buying a light set. The glamored studded leather will run you 5,000, and the leather golem. But Gil's offering to lend you money, and Gil, how much money do you have left?
1,000.
That I still have.
You said it's 3,000. You should have 2,000, right?
I got 3,095.
Oh, but you said you had 3,000 before, so.
Yeah, but I had a lot of platinum still. And then the 664 gold that I picked up off those dead people.
Alright, Gil's offering to loan you some money.
Does Gil tell Caleb this?
Oh yeah. Like, as soon as he sees you putting items back that are a bit pricey, he will tell you that he's willing to help you out. For the benefit of the party.
What was the glamour was like 5,000?
The glamour armor and the leather golem armor run you 5,000.
Okay. Before he makes a decision, are there any weapons?
Any particular weapon you're looking for?
Let's see. Just any kind of weapon, not like some
weapons.
I don't know, because like Okay,
Or does
let's
he want
just
a
say...
close distance?
Okay, let's just...
What type of weapon are you going to use? Or you have an idea that Caleb would use?
Let's...
I'm assuming either a finesse weapon or a ranged weapon. That helps narrow that down.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. You can afford to get up to a +2 for pretty much any weapon of your choice. You could get a weapon of warning, which gives you advantage on initiative rolls, and if you or any of your companions within 30 feet cannot be surprised unless you are incapacitated or something of that nature, because the weapon magically awakens you and your companions within range if you're sleeping naturally when combat begins. So, for instance, if you had a weapon like this, the raptors couldn't have gotten a surprise round on you because the weapon would have warned you they were coming.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd make the alert feed basically useless.
Well, to be fair, you don't have to buy the alert feed or find it.
I know. Just like, I know. Yeah, none of us have it, or at least as far as I know, none of us have it. So, or just
weapon of certain death. When you damage a creature using a weapon like this, they can't regain hit points. So basically, it prevents people from healing. There, you do see several special ammunition being sold. For instance, walloping ammunition, which basically pushes people back whenever you shoot them with it.
These are all just weapons with gimmicks. Are there any just statistically good weapons?
Well, like I said, you can buy upwards to a +2 weapon of your choice. But if you're looking for just straight up, like, it is statistically better.
Like his melee weapons right now roll single individual dice right now, okay?
it's not a bad thing.
Like, his rapier only rolls 1d8 plus 3.
Most weapons do that.
And his laser rifle rolls 3d8. It is just straight better than the rapier.
I mean, but it requires you to be far away from someone.
Yeah. A, it requires range, and B, it is an ammunition that you can basically only get in the Underdark. Once you guys are done here in Edict and you leave, when you run out of ammo, that weapon.
Okay, I gotta ask: is the laser rifle just particularly powerful?
I believe so. Because bear in mind, most campaigns you can't buy magic items. I include that just because I think it encourages players to do fun builds that work for them. And in the case of the laser rifle, you normally can only find that in one particular campaign. So yeah, it's like an incredibly rare item.
So do most weapons only roll 1 dice at a time?
Most weapons.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
There are some that can do extra, but most of the time, yeah, it's just like, hey.
So maybe the laser rifle just made me think things were way out of context, and made me think the rapier is just like level 1 shit, and I'm still dragging around.
Yeah, no, because basically the best you would get, the best I've ever seen, is maybe things like 2 dice or 3 dice. And even then, that's usually in the case of either magic items, or it's like, for instance, I think with swords, correct me if I'm wrong, is it that if you use both hands to use them, it increases it to 2d something, or is it just upgrade the damage dice?
If it's a two-handed weapon, it increases the damage to 10 instead of 8.
Alright, can we not talk at the same time as other people? It makes it very hard to understand them.
Oh, basically, yeah, so just to cover what was said, yes, basically, unless we're talking, special items, yes, your weapons are almost all, I'm looking at a list of rare and uncommon weapons, and it is all just, maybe you get a +1 or +2, in addition it does some other special effect.
Okay, I guess, what were the weapons listed already? I know it's like up to... how much is the +2 weapon, out of curiosity?
+2 weapon will run you 5,000.
Yeah, he's not going to be doing that and getting armor, so...
Yeah.
What were the weapons listed so far?
You can get special ammunition. There's just +1, +2 ammunition. You can also get walloping ammunition. You can get unbreakable ammunition. This would mostly be applicable to your things that aren't your laser rifle, but again, it is going to run out of ammo at some point. There was also the weapon that prevents people from healing, the weapon that is just straight up +2 or +1, and I think that's what we've listed so far. Yeah. Oh, and the weapon of warning that prevents you from being surprised.
Yeah.
What is the weapon of warning specifically? Like, what kind of weapon is it?
No, it can literally be any weapon.
Okay. Is that the same with the no healing weapon?
Yes.
How big of a deal is a +1?
It's a fairly big deal. I guess if it helps, a +1 weapon is considered an uncommon item, which is basically just a step above common.
How much of an impact does getting +1 to damage have?
I think it also increases your...
Yeah, but it does also increase chance to hit.
Well, I already have a +6 to hit, so...
Well, you can go to +10. or try to get to +10.
Like, I have a decent enough chance to hit. So I'm more worried about damage.
I'd say, like... I guess it's not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. It's mostly just, like...
How big of a deal would you say not being able to heal is?
That depends entirely on the opponent you are fighting. Because basically, if you're fighting an opponent that doesn't try to heal, then it just does nothing.
Either they have regeneration or they have healing magic.
But I guess if it helps, since it seems like you don't really have a particular preference, if you want my suggestion, the weapon of warning, I think, would be the most applicable, and I guess it would make the most sense in character. Like, you guys have been caught by surprise a couple times, so having a weapon of warning that basically prevents that from happening would be, I think, a fairly in-character decision. Especially because Caleb strikes me as the type where if he found out that he could just sling around like a fucking rifle or something that would just let him know if someone was about to ambush him, would be a fairly attractive offer.
What weapons is it available as?
Browsing around, it's of course available in your classic daggers, swords, spears. However, you do see they are offering them in the form of presumably enchanted surface muskets and flintlocks. So functionally, any weapon.
Shotgun.
Let's see. The weapons thing tells you what weapons you're proficient in, right?
Yeah.
So Caleb is proficient with
simple
crossbow,
weapons,
hand, longsword, rapier, short sword, simple weapons.
Yeah.
But I know a longsword is a two-handed weapon, which doesn't really fit Caleb's thing.
Mm-hmm. I will say it.
What?
Go on. No, you first.
What were you? I was gonna say. I wonder if it'd be too late to change that, because I don't think a longsword really fits him.
I think that may have just come with your, like,
class.
Yeah, so, like, I don't think it's necessarily, like, a conscious choice.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's a class thing, because I have it as well, and I'm not using a longsword, never.
Yeah, so, yeah, it just came with the class.
You imagine with a longsword? Sword would be 3 times bigger than him.
And,
so,
the thing...
How would you... Sorry.
How
would you do javelins?
I don't even know what he said. He's just interrupting people.
He was asking if, if Caleb could and would be interested in getting a javelin.
I don't think that fits Caleb's style.
And if the thing I was going to say is, if it helps with the weapon of warning, you don't have to use it. As long as you're attuned to it, the weapon will warn you. So again,
What's
if
the
you want to
point of
just talk
buying
purely,
a weapon and not using it.
well, I'm just trying to help, since it seems like you're stuck on what you want to buy.
I mean, it's basically you're still using it by using its warning, but like you seem very keen on the idea of using your laser rifle, so I mean, you would probably use that more. So
basically, you would get the benefits of the enchantment
right now because
the ammo problem.
No, because I was using it because it's a 3d8 plus 3. If I had some kind of weapon that would be worth using instead of it, I would be using it. Because I originally said that Caleb to use a lot of melee weapons, but it just seemed like his melee weapons, suck.
That I do find. Just you have to rely on that sneak attack.
Yeah.
Are there just regular swords, like not short sword but not long sword?
I don't think so.
Let's see.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I think that's it, but I'll double check.
There's great sword.
I think that's even worse.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's just short sword and then great sword or long sword.
And then dagger. A dagger is just a really, really short sword.
Yeah, it's just a tiny sword.
So it's like tiny sword, short sword, long sword, or great sword.
That's just weird because it's like there were swords that weren't short swords, but not long swords.
Well, basically, because bear in mind, mechanically speaking, a short sword is a sword that's so small you could use two of them, whereas a great sword is a sword that you can use in one hand, but you can also use it in two. And I think, like Austin was saying, that's more what you're thinking of. And then a long sword is just... Two. Yeah, and a longsword you have to use two, I believe.
No, I think you could do one variant. I think actually great sword might be the two that you have to do, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, so regardless, basically, since mechanically the only difference is whether it's small enough to use twice in one in each hand,
okay, so a longsword is versatile.
Yeah, so you can use it in one hand, but you can also use it in two hands to make it do a little extra damage.
As an extra thing, it basically help you, I don't believe longswords are finesse, so it wouldn't count as sneak attack.
Yeah, you would have to either wait for an ally to be helping you, or for the enemy to be, for you to have advantage.
I don't think you can even do it with the longsword, basically. I think you have to have a finesse or ranged weapon to do it, right?
Oh.
I believe so. Those finesse weapons or rogue stuff.
You give it some thought. We'll circle back to you. Kato?
What is even the point of the scimitar? It does the same damage as a short sword, but is more.
It's literally just a reflavored short sword.
I mean,
it literally is garbage. You might as well buy a short sword for significantly less.
And Kero, Lucian, Kero, I believe you had concluded your discussion with the brokers, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as the broker you were speaking to takes you down the stairs, Lucian, was there anything you wanted to say to Red Broker before Kero joins you in the lobby?
Hi. Hi, I'm here. Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was in the other room and they're like, "You're on!" And I was like, "Ah!"
Awesome.
Anyway, no, I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Kero, ledger broker escorts you down the stairway. Not saying much for the moment, but putting his glasses back on, as he typically wears. And despite how personable he had been with you, he kind of retracts into his sort of antisocial demeanor as he uses his cybernetic to open the door. Lucian, you're not waiting in the lobby for too long, only about maybe 10 minutes. Red just kind of making conversation idly with the twins working the counter before Ledger and Caro exit out from the stairwell.
Can I be talking to one of the twins?
Sure.
Like goth one, and just be like, how do you do your makeup?
So yeah, you and her just kind of swap makeup tips as Kara returns, and Ledger Breaker pipes up. Well, I hope this information was potentially useful to you. The best of luck.
Oh. Whatever happens, I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us.
Thank you, Miss Alexia. And we appreciate the information you deemed fit to grant us.
Well, who isn't to say I haven't more for you when we come back?
Let us hope so. Red kind of gives the pair of you a very exaggerated and wild bow, and shakes both of your hands. Good luck, guys. Try not to die.
Just imagine, like Lucian is, like, physically moving as he's, like, shaking her.
Very much, yeah.
There's not in the plan, so we will not.
A good way to look at it. With any luck, we'll see you soon.
Yes.
With that, Red, after hugging you and shaking your hand, Caro starts making his way to the stairs. And Ledger kind of pauses and just stares at you for a while, Caro. And then it happens so quickly you almost swear that it didn't. But you feel him very, very quickly hug you before retreating to join his brother going up the stairs.
Aww.
This, like, split-second embrace before backing away and joining his brother.
She'll wave to them as they leave.
As the door shuts, you are left alone in the lobby with the twins, who both give you simultaneous nods. And you guys are allowed to do as you wish.
Lucian's got, like, dark makeup on now. She's got the whole emo motif going on now.
Carol just, huh?
You like it?
She looks fantastic, doesn't she? I think she looks great.
It looks cool. I wish I could do that. Do you have anything that can be put on my skin?
The pair of them kind of look to you curiously, and the goth one kind of gestures for you to approach, and kind of touching your skin cautiously, which I will, of course...
Wait, be careful, don't touch.
I'm not going to be able to give you an answer if I don't know what it feels like.
Ooh.
But she succeeds in saving throw. She kind of wipes some of the mucus on her fingers off on her sleeve, and at least anything I have would likely dry your skin out, and I'm gonna guess that's not really the vibe you're going for.
No.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay, Caro. I'll go buy you a hat.
Ooh.
I am going to make a point to, before we go anywhere, I'm going to get Carol a hat.
Sure. Just a regular hat?
It's going to be a straw hat. Specifically a straw hat with a red ribbon around it.
Alright. I'll say 1 silver for a hat.
Yeah.
Caro, you now have a little straw hat.
And I'm going to go to my nearest
baby.
Starbucks and get a large coffee.
That will run you 3 silver.
That's fine. That's all I need.
Damn expensive coffee.
Hey, you know what? I am fine with it. It's Starbucks.
Yeah. And not as expensive as you'd think, actually. Because bear in mind, a full set of clothes, like, hat, shirt, pants, shoes, would only run you 6 silver. So I think in real life money, that's like, depending on where you're buying the clothes, that's something in the ballpark of like maybe like $5.
That's so cheap for a full set of clothes.
No, I mean $5 for the coffee.
Oh, okay. That's expensive coffee.
You got a large, to be fair.
Never mind, I won't
Very
speak about
expensive.
this.
No. This seems like a perfectly good topic for a D&D stream. Like, let's debate the price of coffee.
Carol's gonna wave to the
Can we not?
twins and head outside.
All right. All right. Anything the two of you, any other pit stops the two of you want to make?
Well, first I wanna say hello to Red and Soren.
All right. Which, as you exit, they both give you a nod, and Red kind of glancing over you, kind of lazily. Find what you're looking for?
Yes. Everything is bad.
That is saying it nicely.
We will have to try to save the city or everyone will die.
Now, when you say have to...
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but we will.
Okay.
And I really wish
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I know you were born like yesterday, but you're still welcome to do whatever you want.
I'll think about it. And Soren kind of, him and his pack are just kind of sniffing around the street curiously. This is just all new sensations and scents to them. So they're just kind of interestedly investigating the immediate area.
Yes, this place was very overwhelming for us too.
Soren kind of sniffs at the concrete and...
It's okay. Once we are done trying to save this place, then we will go back to forest and grass
So
and
we go
stuff.
up on top side. There's gonna be so much things, and just don't eat squirrels because, like, they are.
Why not?
They're tiny. That's not enough food. Like, it's not even worth it. Eat a raccoon instead. Well, not a raccoon.
You're playing a dangerous game.
Soren just kind of tilts his head in confusion, just kind of staring at you.
You will see, they are food.
Listen, the vegetarian is saying all this.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, a vegetarian doesn't mean that, like, they're gonna stop other creatures from doing their
I'm
thing.
not a vegan.
I know, but the fact that she mainly eats, like...
Yeah, but she wasn't always a vegetarian, so...
She's like, oh yeah, I should do this.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Red and Soren and his pack will, of course, accompany you through the city.
Hey, Caro.
Yes.
Where do you think that we're gonna find, we need to find Neon, but I don't know where he or the boys went.
Well, Neon went to talk to someone.
Do you think that we should go to the headquarters?
No. Do you remember what Ledger said?
Oh, fuck. I don't know what I was just thinking. I was like, we should go there. But then I was like, wait. Sorry. This coffee is really distracting.
We should,
Maybe there's
I
like
trust
a...
Neon, so we should try to find the others first.
Okay. Well, Neon is the one that, he knows all those people, so maybe he could help us figure out what the fuck we're supposed... Like, how are we gonna save everyone?
Well,
I have a few ideas, but,
I think they're forgetting something.
Oh, maybe I think we talk.
Where do you think the boys went?
they are probably still in the, what is this part of Edict called?
Wait, the part where you are, or the part where the boys went?
I thought this was in the part of, like, the under part of Edict.
It is. This is all Lower Edict.
Okay. I figure that's where they are.
It's a general area.
That is a very general area.
Well, I mean...
I know. Basically, I didn't go up.
They're probably still here in Lower Edict, so I guess we'll just have to look.
I feel like we should have planned this out better.
Well, we didn't expect this place to be in full-on danger.
That's true.
You look on the left, I'll look on the right.
Okay.
Crunchy.
Alright.
Sorry.
Kero and Lucian, go ahead and roll me investigation checks for funsies. And, Red and Soren and his pack, will be following you, Kero.
Yeah.
Perception, you said?
Investigation.
Yeah, investigation. Ooh. Time. Pull up the thing. I got a nat 20, but I have negative modifier. How sad.
No, it's okay. Like, for crits, modifiers don't skip.
Added 4.
Yeah, you do have guidance.
That's true. Okay, then that would be a 21.
Okay. And Lucian?
Ooh, I got a 19.
Okay. The two of you part. Keto checking the relative left of Lower Edict, and Lucian checking the right.
What really is right or left?
And... yeah, it's basically more what direction you happen to be facing at the time. However, I will say that... Keto, as you start making your way to just start scouring the left side of the bureau, it does occur to you, nat 20, so I'm willing to give this to you, it does occur to you that Zephyr and them were heading into Reaper territory when you last saw them, which would be in the direction you're going anyway. So perhaps that would be a good place to start, and then just... so you could perhaps go that way and then work your way in. So you start making your way to Reaper territory. And Lucian, I don't need to tell you that you're looking in the wrong place for them, so we'll come back to you. Before we circle back to the shoppers, Neon. You messaged me that there was something you wanted to do on screen before anything else?
Rip.
You're muted if you're talking.
Rip.
He's dead.
we will circle back to Neon, but I'll shoot them a message real quick. In that case, Gil and Zephyr having already concluded your shopping, Raccoon kind of curiously investigating things. Caleb, have you decided on anything you'd like to buy?
Okay, so let me tell you something that is stupid.
Oh no!
Why the fuck is the short sword piercing?
Oh, that's what you sound stupid. I guess because you're jabbing at people more.
Okay, so you know what the problem is? You want to know what the problem is? First off, that makes the short sword completely fucking useless.
I mean, to
because
you.
the rapier does everything the short sword does, but better.
But bear in mind, most characters have short sword proficiency, but not everyone has rapier proficiency.
It literally does the short sword jobs better. But that's not even the real point. That's not even the real point. Because sneak attack specifies I have to use some kind of finesse weapon. There is no finesse weapon that is 1d8 and slashing. Like the rapier is 1d8 piercing. Which means, to use my slasher trait, I have to cock my fucking damage and use a fucking scimitar. Because why is there no 1d8 weapon that is finesse and slashing?
I'm assuming it's finesse is that it's weaker because it's smaller. So
but
that's
the rapier is 1d8, which is the same as the longsword used one-handed.
Well, I mean, you can do rapier. It should be piercing. Just you won't have that slashing effect.
So the slasher thing is useless. It was a complete waste of a pick for my character.
If you choose, yes, you will have to sacrifice the whole. You would have to sacrifice 2 potential damage to gain the effect of slasher. What you're saying?
Which is fucking stupid. My only option would be to get a scimitar, which does 1d6. So I get to do less damage of just objectively worse weapon. Just so I can get a slashing effect. This was literally a waste for me to have picked for my character. That is, why does it even exist? There's no way to take advantage of it optimally.
The problem is you're trying to stack up a bunch of stuff. Like you could do slasher without doing sneak attacks. You could just do like a normal weapon, but you need sneak attack or else.
I mean, like if I had to choose between slasher and sneak attack, I would choose sneak attack every fucking time. Because sneak attack is like the whole point of being a rogue.
Yeah, I mean, well, sneak attack's just a thing you have as a rogue. I'm just saying, like,
I am never going to pick slasher again. Unless they make a finesse weapon that.
Or you don't be a rogue.
Okay, so that was the main thing that was hanging me up. So, okay, but also I think scimitars just look stupid. So can I flavor it to look less stupid?
I mean, yeah, it's whatever. I don't care.
Can I just say it? Can I just say it's just like a slightly curved sword?
Sure, that's fine. I don't care.
Because those pictures, like fucking shit, man. Like where the fuck, like this fucking this shit. Hang on. This shit. Hang on. This shit looks fucking stupid. I don't want a sword like that.
I think it looks cool personally.
Yeah, it's personal taste, but
yeah,
that's a slightly curved sword, right?
Yeah, it's a bit plain, but that one's actually a bit plain.
But regardless, so yeah, again, that's fine. It'll mechanically be a scimitar, so you can use your feet, but like you can flavor it to look however you like.
Caleb is going to get. How much is the warning thing?
The weapon of warning will run you 500.
Oh, that is cheap as dirt. Okay, so yeah, Caleb's gonna get that, and then the armor +1.
Okay. Alright, 500, and then the +1 armor. Let me get back to that. Just so I can make sure I have the right price. Yep, okay. Alright. So that'll be 5,500 total. So you and Gil can
Wait,
parse
I thought you
that
said the
out.
+1 was 2,500.
Oh yeah, right, because you're getting leather, right? Yeah, so yeah, 2,500. Yeah, I forgot you're getting leather armor. My Friday party uses plate mail, so I had it listed as that price. So 3,000 total. So again, you and Gil can parse that however you like.
If Gil, honestly, Caleb would just probably want to have at least 500 gold on hand, so if Gil, just enough so that Caleb will have 500 gold left.
Yeah. Tell Gil this.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make you guys
if Gil if Gil offers to cover some of it, Caleb will just say, just give him
He'll pretty much throw in 1,000.
Throwing 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Caleb would only have to spend 2,000.
Yep. Alright, so you guys deduct that accordingly, and Caleb, you may add a +1 set of light armor of your choice and a weapon of warning scimitar. Neon, are you back with us?
I am.
Alright, so we will now do you while they're getting their inventory sorted. Neon, you said that
complete wrong ass thing.
You said there was something you wanted to do on screen when we came back to you?
Yeah, I would like to retcon a bit because I just remembered something that I can do now that we're back in the city. Instead of leaving Morgan in a corner somewhere, I'm instead going to store them in my gauntlet because I completely forgot I can do that again now that I'm in city limits.
Alright. Easy enough to do. So it doesn't even have to be a retcon. It can just be like you remember that while walking that way. Like, oh wait,
like 98% of the way.
How do I? Is there a way I can specify light armor?
You should be able to. You could just put in just put in the type of armor you want, and then there should be like a +1 option, and then you can just select that. All right. So Neon, as you essentially.
All the types of light armor there are.
Well, do you? I'm gonna guess from your preference that you just want the best light armor.
Yeah, Caleb wants to protect himself, man.
So in that case, it would be studded leather. So just studded leather +1.
Okay.
Alright, and Neon, I'll say you probably make it down the block from the Free Flow Lounge before you recall that, and Pokeball Morgan. And with that, for probably the first time since Morgan's construction, you are, at least you feel, truly alone on the streets of Edict.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I guess I'll start making my way to the brokers in that direction, since I think I recalled half of the party saying they were going in that direction.
Okay.
No, they never said anything.
Did they not?
No. Kara actually did say they were going to the brokers, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because
brokers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're thinking of the Reapers. So yeah, easy enough to do. All right, since it sounds like there's still
the weapon. What do I look out for the weapon?
Yeah, here. To make it easier, I'll just add it. I'll add it to your inventory. It's a scimitar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Is there a way to put a note so I can note that it's flavored differently?
Neon, as you start making your way towards broker territory, it doesn't take long. You actually run into Kero on the way, who seems to have been going the opposite direction. You two kind of run into each other going opposite ways down one of the streets of Edict.
Ouch.
Basically just on the cusp of the industrial district of Lower Edict. Kero, you see Neon coming further into the city while you're going further out of it, and you two kind of run into each other on the street.
Oh, hello, Neon.
Well, that's half of who I was looking for.
Yes, I am going to see if I can't find the others.
Well, then I guess I'll tag along.
Yes, there are a lot of problems.
Oh, you're telling me?
Yes, everyone may die if we don't try to help.
Yeah. Also, I added the Scimitar of Warning to your inventory, Caleb.
Do I need to refresh?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Alright, anyways, go on, sorry.
Hurry up. Was that part relayed to me by Voter? I'm trying to remember what I do and don't know.
What Voter told you is that he now has very reasonable suspicion that the commissioner is corrupt, given his quickness to basically say that you are either dead or rogue, and that the Peacekeepers should not go looking for you. That got Voter suspicious, and between that and his other suspicions, he now is basically willing to outright defy the Peacekeepers if it means confirming or denying his suspicions. So all he knows is that he thinks Commissioner is corrupt, and he wants to break into the Foxfire Network tower to basically check all of the calls he's been making to see if he can find proof.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if he had also mentioned that, like,
no, he doesn't. He knows nothing of the threat to Edict.
Okay.
He just knows that the commissioner is corrupt, and he wants proof.
With that, the ears stiffen, and it's like, I see. You mind sharing everything that you know with me?
Yes.
And
We have to destroy the towers because everyone has ichor in their blood. Everyone who has metal bits. And they will turn into ichor.
Oh. I see. Well, that certainly puts a lot more pressure.
Yes, and we also can't be seen by peacekeepers.
That much I figured on my own. I'm dead.
Shouldn't I be proficient with this scimitar?
I believe you are. Let me double check. It's a
Finesse weapon. Light.
Yeah, finesse weapon, light weapon.
Is it a martial weapon?
It is martial, finesse, and light.
Well, martial's the main. The finesse is just a stat to it.
Yeah.
No, if you.
Technically, you're not, but because you're going to be reflavoring it to be a short sword, I'm willing to let it slide. So, basically, you can just add your proficiency bonus to the existing thing.
How do I? Is there a
anyway,
way
continue.
to override that?
No, but I'll just keep it in mind. I'll see what I can do later. Go on, you two. Sorry.
I think I can do a 2-hit override. There you go. I was able to override it to the right amount.
There you go. Alright, continue.
I forget what we were saying. Shit.
You can't be seen by Peacekeepers. You figured that much out on your own. Okay.
Yeah, because I think I'm dead.
Yes, Lucian went the other way, and I'm looking for the others this way.
I imagine I would know what this way entails. Yes, Matthew.
Industrial district, and if you go beyond the docks, then Reaper territory.
Do you know how far they went? Don't imagine so.
No, they went in this direction, but we will see.
I guess we will.
Carol will properly introduce Neon to Red. I don't know if they actually talked.
Yeah, they didn't really communicate at all.
This is Red.
Red kind of gives you a nod.
Neon, I guess, and I hold out a little hand.
He kind of stares at it for a second, but after a moment, kind of seeming more just confused than unwelcoming, shakes your hand. Nice to meet you, I guess.
Please, the pleasure's mine. Just wish it could have been under better circumstances.
Well, Caro said it best. I was effectively born yesterday, so...
I guess that's true. You gonna help us save the city, or are you just gonna watch?
Lucian that said that?
Yeah, Lucian said that.
I was gonna say, that was me! I said that.
Nah, it was Kara. They just sounded exactly like Lucian at the time.
It's just like everybody ignores Lucian at this point, just like everything just becomes Caro.
Yeah, you do have to remember that this creature is 1/3 Zephyr.
Yeah, and if you give Lucian credit for anything, you will never live it down.
It's true.
You gotta keep her humble. And he kind of looks to you, Neon, and after a moment, what's in it for me?
The satisfaction of knowing that a lot of people didn't die without you doing anything.
He kind of flicks a forked tongue and considers for a while, and he kind of glances to you, Kara. And what exactly is gonna happen if I don't?
Well, everyone who has metal bits, which is a lot of people, will turn into Ichor beasts, and they will start killing everyone else. And it would be hard to leave.
Alright, I'll help if I can.
I'm a little worried that you had to be convinced, but whatever.
He kind of gives a bit of a shrug. Till they said that, didn't seem like it affected me one way or the other if they died.
Keep that in mind for the future. I know exactly how reliable you are now.
He kind of gives a shrug, and alright, let's see about finding the others then.
Exactly.
Yes, let us go.
Wait, I have to know something. How tall is he?
With the slight... he's a Naga, so,
Yeah, he's a Snurson.
but, his height is about, doing some quick measurements in my head here.
20 feet.
He comes out at about a clean 6 foot.
Damn. He's pretty big.
I just imagine him and the mother
you
like
made it sound
stretching
he was
out
gonna
in
be
their
like
battle
10
against
feet
each other.
tall.
Oh, no. Bear in mind, this is basically him at his quote-unquote standing height. There's a lot of, like, snake coil that's not included in that.
This is his final form.
Basically just human torso and then the parts of his snake body that he uses to hold himself up.
Yeah.
More to him, basically.
He's taller than Neon.
I mean, yeah.
Most people are taller
Yeah.
than Neon.
Well, I think
That's
Pepper's like one of the only ones who's not.
Caro isn't. Because, wait, isn't Neon like 3 something?
I'll give you confirmation on that in just a moment, but yeah, not very tall.
Just smalls.
Yeah, I was wanting to know if this should be the short squad or not. 3-7.
Yeah, so he is taller than Caro.
To like meet somewhere after a certain time, or
I don't think so.
No.
Y'all just
You
like,
guys
go
are
go that way, I
bad
go
at
this way.
Wait,
Tara's
what's
probably
going
just
on?
gonna go back to the Grokers area.
Lucian just realized that Caro and them never agreed on where to meet up or when.
Truly the most organized of parties.
This
First-
is we
But
almost.
first, no. But first, I get a different coffee.
And what were you saying real quick, Caleb, before we circle around?
This party just makes an art form of being disorganized.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Just constant goofy music playing in the background because we can never actually. Yeah, hippity sax.
Alright.
Oh wait, before
I'm
we
gonna
before
be
we
honest,
see
Matthew.
the
Whenever the
transition.
music changed, I thought you were about
You thought
to
we're about to put on something goofy? No.
Um,
I just try not to leave the same soundtrack playing for too long, so... Go on, Caro.
do you like my new hat?
Oh yeah, what does the hat look like? Describe it to me.
It's a straw hat that has a red ribbon on it.
I think it suits your rustic charm.
Thank you.
whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Means you're a hick!
You're from the hick country.
I am a
Tell me
god
how.
compared to you!
Oh, so where we're from?
Yeah.
Yeah, the boonies.
Yeah, the Underdark just considers the entire surface world the fucking sticks.
Yeah. Yeah, cause
Alright.
of the trees.
Let's be real, Matthew. From what we know, the Underdark is that.
Well, to be fair, in my experience, everyone thinks that everyone from everywhere they don't live is the fucking slums, so...
Or not to be true.
It is. I've met so few people, even in my real life, that look at a place that's not where they live and are like, "This looks nice."
You obviously haven't met the
What
people
about
who. Have you never met the people who are like, man, there's all these issues over here. I wish I lived over there.
I've heard of them, but I've met
literally
very few.
talk to people like that all the time. Our Saturday group literally railed about it.
With item purchases complete, I presume.
Finally.
Well, I need to talk to
Yeah.
the boy.
The Reaper woman escorts you all back to the barn, where you can see the leader of the Reapers pouring over various tubes and vials, and the whole place has this just acrid odor to it. But as you enter, Naden kind of
There's
looks
been a lot
up,
of acrid
and
odors lately.
yeah, well, underground, so that tends to happen. Find everything to your liking.
Very much.
Yes and no, but I need
Is there
to speak
something I
about
can-
payment. Well, payment, I guess, for now. I would love to see your inventory and more understand what they are, but I just don't have the time.
Indeed, none of us do. Perhaps if we survive what's coming, with any luck, perhaps I could take you on a more detailed tour. I have grown rather fond of you as a customer.
Well, I was going to speak to you about payment.
Of course. He, basically, since we've already covered the price specifics, this will be when the actual exchange takes place. But, Zephyr, do you have something specific in mind as you put your items in front of him?
Well, I wanted to ask about said favor. Well, I prefer not to waste such a favor to this, but these items would come in handy, so I wanted to know how far that favor would go.
Did you have something in mind?
Meaning, more or less, meaning the price of the favor towards the items that I wish to buy. So, meaning
how... And he kind of rattles off the prices of them. How outside of your price range are these exactly? In other words, if I were to say no, how deep in my debt would you be?
not very much, and even then, I would probably put some of the items back before I go into your debt.
Do you trust me so little, Zephyr?
Less I trust you, more just I prefer not to be in debt. I've already made deals, and I don't even care for those.
It's probably for the best. He considers throwing... Zephyr, make me a persuasion check.
Dang, if only if I had that. If only if I used that book. Persuasion. Yeah, I'm not good at persuasion. But I got a decent roll, 17.
He looks down at the items and considers for a long moment. I'll tell you what. You said that these will assist you in... I assume you do not intend to take what the Peacekeepers are planning lying down?
At first I was willing to walk away, but I thought about it. And, the people of this place I don't care about. I do like the business it has, so I probably will see what I can do.
He smirks a bit under the hazmat suit. Also, can I just say, greatest character development ever. Zephyr doesn't walk away.
Yeah.
He thinks for a moment and... Do not expect me to do this again, nor am I intending to do it for the rest of you. But, and he looks down to you, Zephyr. As I said, I've grown somewhat fond of you, and you have a good mind for business, and you understand the same thing I do, that business works best, and he holds up the vial of Star Blast to you, Gil. Works best when your clientele is alive. Pay what you can, and I will forgive any debt that it would ordinarily put you into. My only request is that in exchange, I hope these goods can assist you in preventing the death of my clients.
I mean, I think only like 2 of them would actually, well, possibly 2, but anyway.
How big is a container that I got?
It's a small flask of it, but you do see more available. It's just that's what... You didn't really give him a clear, like, I want this much, so he just kind of gave you a kind of medium amount.
And how much for this that you already handed me?
He kind of glances to you and... You use surface currency, correct?
Correct.
He kind of glances at all the money he's already been given and kind of rolls his eyes a bit. 1 gold piece for the flask.
Oh, wow.
How many more flasks do I see?
Looking towards the back, Gil, you can see immediately visible is about, you'd say, 12 more.
I'll buy the lot.
You can see him raise an eyebrow beneath the suit,
He's
but...
really spending money today.
It's only 1 gold per, but so it's like 12 or 13 gold.
He kind of smirks a bit, and... You understand that this stuff is... I would hesitate to say hazardous, but... It can be rather addicting.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand.
If you're certain. And he snaps his fingers, and a few Reapers start just dumping the flask into some bags. I suppose I was correct in my decision to brew more.
Yes. And he'll actually be nice for good business and double the price. So instead of 13, he'll put 26.
Gil is
You can
really
see-
spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a vicious cycle of Gil's broke, steals to make money, but then irresponsibly spends it and then ends up broke again.
Well, the way he sees it is it's an investment if everyone still lives for him to do more business and get better prices, hopefully.
I don't know if you're gonna go that far.
Naden does
You never know. But
raise an eyebrow, but he does take the gold, and I'll have to make a rather profitable trip to the bank. Will that be all for all of you?
So I guess that's all I have for pretty much all I have for whatever, and then the rest will be paid off. So I guess Zephyr will put down 1,000.
He takes it and gives all of you a nod. For what it's worth, I will inform the Reapers that your team is to be left to your own devices while in our territory, insofar as you do not interfere with our business, at any rate. And he glances to you, Zephyr. In the event that you find a solution that would require a bit of chemical aid, the Reapers would be more than happy to brew up something for the Peacekeepers.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get something to drink.
Go ahead.
I will keep that in mind.
In that case, pleasure doing business with all of you. Hope to see you again soon, with everyone still in one piece. With that, since Caleb's away getting a drink, Zephyr and Gil, where do the two of you want to go now that your business with the Reapers has concluded?
Gil will probably head back to the entrance where we first came into Edict
Okay.
again. Well, re-entered Edict.
Alright.
Zephyr will go to the end.
Which one? The Sweet Honey Hive or the cheaper one you had stayed at on the Mother's Dime?
I didn't stay at that one.
Right, yeah, so you're gonna head to the Sweet Honey Hive?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case,
Zephyr's like,
I do want to do a couple things when you get around to me.
sure. What would you like to do?
Okay. I want to pick up a couple of things. I'm not sure if I can maybe figure out where I can find it. Maybe I can ask Neon. I want to find like a chemistry set, basically, like where I can work on like on my alchemy.
Okay.
Because Lucian has some things that she wants to do with the blood samples that she found at the laboratory.
Okay.
So I want to pick up, bottles, vials, chemistry stuff.
Okay.
I'm also going to look for a couple of components for a couple of my spells that need it.
All right. What would be the cost of the components themselves?
Well, it would I don't know which one. They do have. Hang on. My D&D Beyond is being glitchy. Hang on. There.
What spells are you talking about?
Right now.
You're stuttering a bit. So.
Very low.
A little.
Yellow.
Use Gil's mic or text. We'll come back to you. Just have your stuff ready. Caleb, are you back?
Yes.
Gil's heading to the entrance you guys came in through. Zephyr's heading into the city. Who do you want to follow?
We're splitting the party more.
I guess Caleb will go into the city.
Alright, Zephyr, are you okay with Caleb following you?
He's not
Hello.
Apple.
Hello. Alright.
Okay.
Lucian, if we're able to hear you, so how much will the spell components you're looking for run you?
It would be 100 gold.
Alright, and then with the chemistry tools, that will be, so 150 total.
Okay. And then I also would like, I just had it in my brain and now it just went away. Holy shit. What the fuck? It was right in my brain. I'm like, I'm ready to say it. Here it comes. And then just,
You going with this, Gil?
trying to remember what it was. If I remember, I'll ask.
Okay. Gil, as you're heading away, you kind of change your mind, realizing that you want to get through your clothes, and join up with the Tebadrons heading into the city. Raccoon kind of scuttling along behind. Yes, I love the word scuttling.
I remember what I was going to ask.
Okay, go for it.
I want to ask if anywhere in this city I could find maybe some better armor. And I want a amulet of like, what is that one where like you protect from scrying?
What I have. I have it on my inventory. It is a proof against detection and location.
Yes.
I will say, Lucian, from what you know, you're not sure exactly where you would go about acquiring something like that, especially down here. And you imagine, given what you know, it'd be a little suspicious to go around and ask.
Right.
And the best you can find for armor, you can buy new armor, but it would basically, to put it in mechanical terms, you're not from the shops you know where to find. You can't find any magic armor, but you can find just basic sets if you want to just grab some.
I just really wanted the glamour one.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
This is why the party should stick together.
Okay, I'll be fine. Just go cry.
Alright.
Go drink my coffee.
Neon and Keto. As you're about reaching the docks and about a third of the way across the Edict wastes where the ocean once was, you actually meet Gil, Caleb, and Zephyr halfway. As they're making their way into the city. Similar to how you would run into Neon, Caro, Zephyr, Caleb, and Gil are going opposite you guys when you run into each other. So everyone sans Lucian is regrouped.
There you guys are.
Gil. Wait.
Oh, Gil went with that.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay, yeah, never mind. That's what we're looking for.
Yes.
Zephyr will nod to you as he proceeds to keep on.
We've been ignored.
My poor heart.
Where are you going?
Well, unless we're planning on leaving now, I'm gonna go get me a room.
I will try to keep pace with Zephyr, and I mean, kind of direct this to just everybody else who's not Caro and
Did
Red,
everybody?
but,
Did everybody catch up with us?
Yeah, everyone is because Neon and Caro were going opposite the way you guys were going, so you just ran into each other halfway. So basically, to reiterate, for anyone who wants to participate in dialogue, everyone sans Lucian is regrouped and heading into the city now.
Lucian is just off on her own.
Yeah, she went the wrong way trying to look for us.
Go on, Neon. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew if they could participate.
So, what all information about our situation are you privy to so far?
I mean,
I know there is a situation of some kind.
well, there's a war. There's some sort of conflict going on. Everyone seems to bandy together for whatever conflict it is.
Alright, so, and then Neon explained to them the whole situation, because I don't feel like going through all of it again.
Alright, that's fair. Alright, so Neon explains to all of you. The commissioner sold you guys out to the Scar Concord, tricked you into delivering Subject Theta to Ergos, and has now turned the Peacekeepers against you. If you are spotted in Edict by a Peacekeeper, it's reported to the commissioner, and there is a decent chance that the Foxfire Network will then be used to kill everyone with cybernetic augmentations, turning them into Ichor beasts, who will then likely slaughter and infect the rest of the citizens, leaving you stranded in Edict, surrounded by an army of potentially millions of Ichor beasts. However, Caro has been informed by the brokers that there is a chance to save everyone by destroying the Foxfire Network tower before the commissioner can send word to Dr. Coulomb, who will then in turn flip the kill switch.
And Neon's friend has a plan to do that, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, and Neon, do you inform them of that as well?
Yes.
So yeah, Neon lets you guys know that his old friend, who is still on your side and is against the commissioner too, has agreed that he can pull strings to get you guys into a upcoming wedding that's being hosted at the Foxfire Tower as servants for an upcoming wedding, so that way nobody will pay attention to you, which will at least let you get into the upper part of the tower, at which point... now, originally, Neon, you were told to just hack into it to find proof that the commissioner is corrupt. However, Caro seems of the mind to destroy the tower entirely to ensure that the Scar Concord cannot slaughter the people of Edict.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quite real. That seems like the more pressing issue.
Well, Zephyr's new friend said they had chemicals. Maybe they can make some kind of explosive.
Your friend?
Well, Lucian does have a book of bombs that she got from their mother, remember?
All this sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, either way, I'm not gonna be the one that gets everyone caught. And he's gonna use... well, he's... Oh wait, I can't remember, did he have to attune to the hat?
It's in your inventory, you can check.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
While you're doing that, Red kind
of attune to the scimitar. But I assume he could still use it as a weapon, but he just won't get the alert yet.
Yeah. And Red kind of glances to you, Zephyr. Do you have a better idea?
Well, I mean, frankly, this whole party thing is just been there, and frankly, it's I don't know. But destroying it would be ill-advised, it seems, and also, I guess, hacking it, well, you can do that well, but basically, the more scene you make of it, the worse. So why not just disable it? If you start kicking candles around. But if you sort of, I guess, I'm assuming, Neon, you know bit more about this Foxfire network and I guess how it functions, maybe.
Do I, DM?
I'll tell you what. I have a basic idea of how much knowledge you'd have, but go ahead and make me a history check with advantage.
I will do just this thing. I will do it. History. There you are.
And yes, he needs to attune.
Fuck me. Nat 20 and then a 17.
Well, it's not
You are, given your love of technology, Neon, you are intimately familiar with how the Foxfire Tower works. In all intents and purposes, the Foxfire Tower effectively gives the people of Edict what is essentially a early version of the internet. As long as the tower stands, the people of Edict can communicate and transmit data wirelessly, allowing pretty much anyone in Edict to be in contact with anyone else at any time instantly. Supposedly, the network is so powerful that people can even do things like holograms, which you've heard is how the generals of the three cities of the troops of Tradu stay in contact with each other. They'll basically hologram to each other's cities while staying in their own. But that means the tower itself is very, very precious, because in the event the Foxfire Tower is destroyed, not only would the network itself be shut down, but all of the data inside would be permanently lost. Which I will add, given you rolled a nat 20, I will say you only are getting this because of that nat 20. If Morgan is inside your gauntlet when the Foxfire Tower goes down, Morgan will be permanently lost, because Morgan is in the Foxfire network when in that state.
Okay.
And I think what Zephyr was asking was, is there a way to just simply disable it?
Yeah, basically, the reason I was establishing that is essentially the internet is because, yes, if you set off an EMP, which those are, if you know where to look, you can find those. If you were to set off an EMP in, or even a good, depending on the blast radius, if you were either to set a small one off inside or a big enough one outside, the tower would not be outright destroyed, it would simply shut down. But the EMP blast would permanently destroy all of the data, and you cannot simply repair a machine that has been blasted by a sufficient enough EMP. It is simply done. You would need a powerful EMP to ensure permanent destruction, but with an EMP that is powerful enough, you could, in theory, disable the tower without structurally harming it at all. It would just destroy the data and permanently sever the network connection, which in turn, given what Caro has told you, would likely mean that Dr. Coulomb will lose his grip on the population of Edict. However, again, given that you have a nat 20, that will have some unforeseen side effects. Again, anything that is in the data network will be permanently lost as well, which you don't know what that might entail, given that matter conversion technology is a thing. You also would know that many people's prosthetics rely on the network to stay active. So you could potentially be locking people out of use of their arms, use of their eyes, potentially even stopping their hearts.
Yeah, so, would my nat 20 in history... Would my nat 20 in history be able to tell me if there's, a power switch that I could just... for a time?
Yes, but there would not necessarily be anything stopping people from turning it back on. But yes, however, in addition to a simple switch, there are backup generators that essentially automatically kick in the event power is lost to, again, avoid the exact scenario I just described. So you would have to turn the tower off, and then you would have to destroy the generators before they kick in, otherwise it'll turn right back on.
Alright, that sounds easier.
So you can relay all this to us?
Yep. Basically just...
Do you think there might be some way that you could, kick Coulomb out of it?
I don't know. Out of character, I was thinking about it, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I would be capable of, but... I don't know, DM. This is my 20 history.
I will say, that is definitely possible. However, it would not necessarily be a permanent solution. You know from experience in your work in the Peacekeepers, hackers are not something you permanently lock out. You just come up with a temporary defense that can stop them long enough to, like, either save what data you want, or, you know, just hopefully they'll get bored and leave. Given that you don't exactly... Given Coulomb is more of an international terrorist than a simple hacker trying to fuck with people, you doubt that he's just going to get bored and give up. And there's not really anything you could do to permanently keep him out of the system.
There is. There's a way I can permanently keep him out of the system.
In terms of... However, with... Again, you're only getting this from a nat 20, so be grateful you rolled that. There is a way. If you encrypt the data that is in the tower, and you use a good enough encryption, there are encryption codes that you've seen that supposedly nobody can crack, ever. Only the person who created it will ever be able to crack it. If you do that, all data in the Foxfire network, including those that power the cybernetics, will remain active. The tower itself will still be on, but you, if you are the person to do this, you and only you would ever be able to make that stuff available to the public. Effectively, you would gain control
of the town
instead of Coulomb. But Caro, I'm assuming you relayed how the brokers described Coulomb's potential intelligence to pull this off.
Yeah.
Neon, you do know that is definitely an option, and that seems to be the only one that will result in basically no major pain and suffering, but that means you will have to go up against potentially one of the smartest people in the world to essentially do a hack-to-hackathon and just pray you encrypt it deep enough to where even he can't crack it. You have to outsmart one of the smartest people in the world who is determined to take that control away from you, or at least maintain what he has.
So there's no easy solution. Got it.
And imagine
That's alright,
even
sorry.
Even if he kept a small amount of people under control, that could be more than enough for it to spiral out of control. Even if he just gets a small... Like, even if, 1% of Edict ultimately gets Ickered, that might be enough to spiral the situation out of control. So, no pressure.
Yeah, so far the best option that I'm seeing is just we fucking kill the commissioner so he can't ever give the red alert.
Yeah.
That assumes that there isn't some kind of dead man switch to it, where if he doesn't hear back from the commissioner, he automatically does it.
He'll eventually figure it out.
The only permanent solution would be to either kick him out or disable the system. Anything else would probably just be stalling for time.
Basically, you can either physically destroy the tower, use an EMP to destroy the network, or encrypt the data so that Coulomb can't access it. Physically destroying it would probably be the easiest. EMP would be, kind of medium difficulty, but probably be the safest, quote-unquote. And the best solution for the biggest amount of people would be encrypting the data, but that would be the most difficult, because, again, Neon would have to out-hack Coulomb.
Boy, this hero stuff is hard.
How good is Neon's intelligence?
Well, I believe that is their highest stat. It definitely is.
Yeah, and I actually did calculate what Coulomb's IQ is. I know IQ isn't like a, super thing, but just to kind of put a sense of scale. I calculated what Coulomb's IQ would be, and his IQ would be, if he was in the real world, literally superhuman. No pressure.
I think you could do it, Neon. I believe in your ability.
Well, it's a good thing Neon's not a human.
Yeah, I appreciate that at all, but I'm not really sure if I would wager an entire city's worth of people on that.
Well, it's either that
or destroying
or
it.
we kill the city because we failed.
Our options are limited, yes.
It's either that or we destroy it and possibly people die from that.
Are we
Have I
still
ever told you that I
walking during
fucking
all of
hate these
this?
people?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Like, Zephyr didn't stop.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm assuming you're walking.
I mean, we could leave if you want.
Yeah, no, I'd rather not do that. I can't have that on my conscience, in addition to everything else.
Plus, I
The
already,
usual.
plus I already stated I'd probably help.
And besides, Neon, you would have, based on what you said, you would have a few days of preparation. So,
This is true.
Do you want
As
to
long
make
as we don't
practice
get caught.
ones?
Practice one.
Perhaps I could take a look at the old facility that we were in last time here. Maybe I could find something that'll help.
I think that's a little far for what we can do in time.
Yeah, I think it's like a couple of
We
days.
have at least a few days. So
Oh, 2 days.
What's our... Do we have a time limit right now?
few days.
Well, it's only like 2 days when the
Yeah, it basically upwards of a week, but Officer Voter is going to attempt to secure you guys a more hard date, but you have a kind of soft time of anywhere from a few days to a week.
Okay. So we don't really have time to be doing a lot of traveling.
And plus, even then, going all the way there, who knows if that will actually be beneficial.
Plus, there were still other Ickers there that we did take care of.
Either way.
So no pressure, Neon.
You're
I mean,
all very helpful.
we can
We
simply...
have your back.
Hmm.
Oh,
But-
Caleb was saying, we have your back.
we also should take care of the teleporter.
Like, has anybody noticed that Lucian's gone missing, or...
It's not that she's missing, just you and Carol went different directions. They're heading that way.
I know, but like, she's missing all of this.
You went the wrong way! I don't know
What do you want us to do?
We'll fill you in.
I thought we were gonna at least get her, like, caught up with you guys before, like, all this stuff happened.
Zephyr, in case anyone missed it, Zephyr said we should also take care of the teleporter.
What's the teleporter again?
Teleporter?
Well, yeah, no one knows about it except for Zephyr, I think. Maybe me, but...
Yeah, this is the first I as me, have heard of the teleporter.
I'll give you that one for free. The only thing you can think of that Zephyr might be referring to, you don't know how he knows about it, but there is teleporters in the cities that basically allow people to quickly travel from each of the troops, the three troops of those cities. However, those are typically accessible only to Elvish citizens. They typically do not let outsiders or surface dwellers use them. Which is part of the reason that they were not used earlier. But yeah, the Queen Bee did mention them offhandedly to Zephyr when they met.
Yeah, but no one knows that. He's just...
So Neon, you know what Zephyr's talking about, or at least you have a good idea, but the rest of you don't.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Zephyr?
Yeah, teleporters.
What's a teleporter?
I mean...
You step into it and it brings you somewhere else.
Yeah, like, you go into one area, you come out another.
Oh, so it's like a portal.
I mean...
Yeah,
I get-
exactly like a portal.
I just kind of assumed that maybe Caleb would have heard of magical portals.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's it's not a common magic, but it is a well-known one. Red kind of glances to you, Zephyr, with a raised eyebrow. What does that have to do with this?
Well, I mean... I assume, we don't want people to get where, away, so, taking care of those would mean they are don't have a means of escaping, or at least a means that we couldn't really access well.
Although I will say, Neon, with your Nat 20, as Zephyr brings this up, with your earlier Nat 20, you would know, shutting down the Foxfire network via EMP would also shut the teleporters down.
Then in that case, I will relay. Destroy or dealing with the tower would worry. Dealing with the tower would take care of that as well. They run on the same network, so that's nothing to worry about.
Okay. Seems I'll rely on this tower way too much.
Well, it's not really my fault, is it?
Yeah, everyone relies on something.
Well, you can rely on something, and then you can rely on multiple things to make sure things get done.
You need backup plans.
Yes.
Well, they don't seem to have one. They just seem to expect their first plan to work.
It sounds like that plan's gonna go down the drain, or it's gonna go away, so...
It does seem to have become their downfall.
So, DM, those caves we were in the last time we came here, the whole facility area.
Yep.
How far away is it? I can't remember.
Let me actually double check, because it's been a little while since then.
Basically, was it days away, or?
Let me double check. Okay, going off of my notes, someone can correct me if I'm misremembering, but if I recall correctly, it only took you a day to get from Reaper territory to... Because you basically went through the tunnel, it opened up into the cavern, which then opened up into the big cavern where the blizzard was happening, and then the facility was across the frozen lake. So I think it only took you like a day to get there, and even then, just because you chose to sleep at the facility. So, in theory, you could get to the facility in a day.
Okay,
Especially because you do... I will give you this one as a freebie. You recall that it was Subject Theta who was making everything frozen. So you guys could actually likely travel faster through those caverns now that everything's not icy and snowy.
Alright.
That's far as we know.
Yeah, in that case, I propose we meet up with, everyone else.
Everyone else. Cough, Lucian.
Raccoon, I believe. Well,
No, Raccoon's with Gil.
oh, with Gil. Okay, never mind. So that goes with Mage then. So I suppose we take another look around the lab, because I don't know. I don't exactly have very many good ideas right now. Maybe I could find something there.
Just make sure to stay away from the robots, because I think Coulomb can see through them.
I mean, the problem
Sure
is...
can't he?
Well, there was just the one robot that I know of.
Well, the possibility of more is a big facility, but the problem is, how do we know? I mean, by the time we notice them, it could be too late. That's
Well, in that case, there's also security cameras there.
Is there?
Was there?
I believe you guys glimpsed a couple, but you have no idea if that's still functioning or not. There was security cameras there because that's how you guys were able to at least get a basic view of some of the cells, but most of the camera network was down when you went there, and you do recall that the Peacekeepers raided the place after you guys left, so you have no idea what state it's currently in.
It's tricky because, if there's something that Coulomb can see through in there, then that's just... the jig is up.
Yeah, that's what I was hinting at. If he's hacked into the robots there, he's hacked into the security system.
Oh, this is so good. Just the fucking, terrifying...
Has everybody forgotten who Lucian talked to 3 nights ago?
Nobody knows.
Who did Lucian talk to that was actually important?
Lucifer.
She thought it's Lucifer all that, so...
Well, there is a chance Lucifer doesn't say anything to Coulomb.
Well, yeah.
Or
He
Doesn't
may or
sound
may
like
not
he
be
would.
not really working with him anymore.
Who knows?
But yeah,
Or-
I just want to say I'm
Either
loving
that-
this.
Either that or he's been playing Lucian hard.
Oh, I
is
wouldn't be
possible.
surprised.
But yeah. Well, I mean,
God, it's like Neon's just like, oh my god. At this rate, this is getting closer and closer to having to do this cold.
well, it seems again our options are mostly three things. You could try to hack it, Neon, if you wish. Not really sure. I guess it'd be up to you if you think you could do it. We can sort of destroy it / disable it. Cut a few wires or something. Make sure it's not connected to anything, whatever. But of course, that means anything that's connected to the Foxfire network will be turned off, however that would affect the city. And
Negatively, I assure you.
well, of course, or we could, I guess, do what you've mentioned, take care of the officer or the commander or whatever he is, to give us more time. But of course, if we take care of him, then security will be probably tougher on us.
Coulomb is smart. I don't think he would have made... I have a feeling his agreement with the chief probably involves them having to check in every so often, and if they don't,
Well,
they'll
I
assume
think-
something has happened, probably. Or just assume that it doesn't matter because they're gone now, so they'll just fuck the city at that point.
Well, yes, I'm not.
Yeah.
I said
So-
it really give us more time. Just simply
So, sorry.
No.
I was just going to say that it sounds like hacking is the best option.
Well, the hacking sounds like if we fail to hack, then
We'll be stuck on
it's
top of a tower, surrounded by an army of Icar beasts.
Yes, but if we also take out the tower, those who die with those prosthetics on will become Icar beasts, and it will just spread.
well, I don't.
Will they?
Well, is that how that works? Question.
Does
Because as soon
Does
as
the
they go
button
out of
need-
order,
did
it
the
injects
button-
them with that.
does the button need to activate the Icar?
Yeah, I will say to Caro, if you want to clarify this, and again, just because I don't want you guys going in with like half known or misunderstood information unless it's plot relevant. The brokers mentioned that basically the way the prosthetics are rigged up is if the kill switch is flipped, it kills the person it's attached to and then injects Icar into them.
But if
So
it died by other means, it wouldn't do that.
yeah, that's why whenever I pointed out to Neon like the side effects of EMPing the tower, destroying it, it's less the concern of them becoming Icar beasts. Although I guess depending on where the prosthetic is, that could in theory still happen. But the main problem would be some of those people need those prosthetics to live, and if they become non-functional, then that could kill them.
Moral of the story, do not tie prosthetics to the fucking internet.
Hint, hint, real world.
Well,
World.
sacrifice the few to save the many.
So basically, anything that would on the off chance turn into an Icar beast would probably be so few that they can be dealt with easily.
Depending on how it's dealt with, yeah. Because there's an established, like, if Icar Beast kills one, it makes another, so... But,
Yeah, but
Any
remember, the
Icar beast-
Peacekeepers aren't helping the Icar beasts, so the Peacekeepers would still be able to fight the Icar beasts, because only the Commissioner, as far as you guys know, was helping the Scar Concord. The rest of the Peacekeepers just genuinely want to help. So, So yeah. So basically,
Neon has a very tough decision.
Yeah.
Literally, the fate of everybody he knows is on the line, including
at this
his
point-
own furry ass.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were still talking. My bad.
Oh, sorry. I just interject with shit randomly because I'm ADHD.
You're fine. I was just going to say that Gil's going to be keeping an eye out for the Lucian now, at this point.
Okay.
So, no pressure, Neon. It's just literally everybody you know and your own furry ass on the line.
He's fine.
Because
Well, actually, Neon doesn't have any prosthetics.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Luckily,
but
I was thinking about it.
but
His friend does.
you're forgetting the fact that the city will be turned into Ickerby, so we will be stuck on top of a tower.
I mean,
In
we
the
can
middle
get
of the
out,
city.
but that's not a problem.
Oh, yeah, because you got a flying barbarian that can get you out.
Well, I mean, that's not the problem there. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to fight them. That'd be the case. Or just escape. I don't know.
No pressure.
And if there's nothing else, it takes you guys some time. Edict's a big place, but you do eventually, on the complete opposite side of the city, as Zephyr, I'm assuming, still making your way to the Sweet Honey Hive.
Yes.
You find Lucian kind of wandering the red light district, large thing of coffee in hand, and Lucian, it's been like hours at this point, and you have not seen scale or hair of the others, but then you see all of them together in the red light district.
Just kind of mutter to myself, of course.
Alright. And Lucian now rejoins the group.
And then I filled them in on everything that we talked
Yeah, it's a lot, I get it. So, yeah, Lucian, you
Info
are filled
dump.
in. Everyone who has a prosthetic might get kill switched and injected with Ichor to turn into Ichor Beast. Foxfire Network Tower is the key to it all. Your potential options are kill the Commissioner to get more time, destroy or EMP the tower to shut the network down, but that risks killing anyone with a prosthetic anyway, but they won't turn into Ichor Beasts. But that would sever Coulomb's connection. The only solution that's been presented that even has a chance of saving everyone is Neon trying to out-hack Coulomb and encrypting the network so that Neon has control of it instead of Coulomb, but that basically is putting Neon's tech savviness against one of the smartest people in Yav.
Possibly
I'll look
all-
at Neon. I do not.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Alright, Caleb first. You go and say what you were going to say.
Oh, I was just good. My thing is not important at all. I was just making a comment.
Okay, so, Lucian, continue.
Say. I lost track of what I was saying.
God damn it.
Here is the news where Neon has
I
to
derailed
decide.
everything.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I remember now. It just came all at once, which is weird. I do have a couple of suggestions, though I'm not sure if you guys are going to like them.
It's worth at least hearing.
Well, you know how we were in there before, and the Coulomb bot basically tried to murder us. There is a possibility that there are more in there. Or they are able to
You are cutting.
Use Jeremy's mic.
Already considered that.
I heard the Coulomb bot knows as far as we went.
Yeah, switch over to Jeremy's mic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can you
continue.
move? I need to mute off.
Yeah, you're muted.
No. I need to, not hear me. Okay, there we go. So what I was going to say was, Coulomb almost murdered us. Bless you, baby.
Yeah, on top.
I was wondering. Well, I know that there's probably going to be more down there, but we don't know if they function or not. So I was thinking about that problem. And what if Coulomb was distracted?
Distracted.
Well, also, you could always do a few practice hacks on someone's box.
You could, but what I was trying to say is I could always ask, who for help.
If he's not playing you.
Sexual distraction from Lucifer.
Face immediately turns 3 shades of red. Do not talk about that. Especially when it comes to him.
Sounds like a good idea.
But I was saying, what if I can get him to, distract his boyfriend? Yes.
That sounds like an awful idea.
That's assuming that he isn't just playing you and we'll just tell him what's going on.
Well, I don't have to tell him that it's a distraction. Distraction. Jesus, yes.
And how would you...
You just call him and be like, oh, could you go do something with Coulomb? And
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, I double dog you to... I don't know.
Take Coulomb on a date?
That literally sounded like this... You don't think they're going to question why you were telling them to do this? That'd be the most obvious play I've ever heard, and I've heard of some pretty obvious plays.
To be fair, I did tell him that I was going to try to be supportive. I said this before I knew that he was evil.
It sounds like a very high risk, low reward sort of thing.
But it is another idea.
But, I don't have to do it, but I thought if he is already distracted, maybe we can get away with him not seeing us there.
To what end?
That's what I was wondering as well, is because if I do ask him to do this for me, he might want something in return.
No, he means, what's the point of the distraction? What would it be serving?
What's the point of going back to that place?
Well, he wants to, test his hacking skills on the system
Neon needs
over
some
there.
computers to work with,
Surely
that
there are
might...
things in Edict they could do that with.
Maybe.
I'd imagine with them having this network that they would have computers, so they could do that with them here.
Of course, but Neon also said that, basically, they want to check an area that already has been, occupied by the Concord to see if there's anything Neon can find there that might give you guys some kind of advantage. Something that they left behind that might give you some kind of a clue or answer.
And I would also like to look for formularies. I'm working on a theory, and I just need something.
Well, don't you think Coulomb would have informed the commissioner to get everything that might have been left?
It might be something that somebody left on accident. You never know.
That seems like quite a long shot. I do think that it would be good for Neon to get some practice, but...
I can also help Neon. I can cast a spell.
What do you know about these machines that he is?
I don't know anything about the machines, but I can cast a spell and give him
Push.
assistance from my god.
AKA guidance, probably.
No, beacon of hope.
Well, that's wisdom saves.
Well, it also
gives
other
healing.
things.
Well, I think
So you have advantage on.
You have advantage on wisdom saves. I think you had this conversation. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
More
we
than
were
just that.
at confusion last session.
Yeah. Well, I'll go through my spells and I'm pretty sure I do.
Like,
Yeah.
plus, that'd probably be intelligence.
But if Neon thinks he needs to go to this place to get to maybe get some practice breaking Coulomb's control of something, then
Well, then
it
let's
might
do
be
it.
good to go there if we can.
Well, it sounds like
Well, that's why I was saying
If
was
that's what, if you think you need that, Neon.
I suggest we at least take a look around there, because worst case scenario, we find nothing and we just rely on luck, I guess.
well, worst case scenario, he sees us, but
Yeah, the worst
well, that's
case
why I was
scenario,
going to say
he
distract
sees,
him, but
worst case scenario, he sees us and hits the switch immediately.
well,
You're
that's
very
why I
right.
was suggesting the distraction, but not holistically.
the problem with the distraction is basically, as my brother said, is more obvious, and also there's a lot of risk involved. In saying, like, he doesn't figure out that you're distracting him on purpose for another reason.
From what I understand of the situation, you would be telling him that we're up to something and chancing this contact of yours to be able to keep him busy without him figuring out what's going on, and just hope that your contact doesn't let slip that it was your idea.
Or that
Whereas-
the contact doesn't outright tell him.
Whereas if we just sneak in like a thief would, he has no reason to suspect that we're there, and even if this guy's as smart as you people think, he can't see everything at once. Otherwise, he would already know we were here. So he has to have
He
blind
might.
spots. Well, if he already knows we're here, why not just flip the switch now?
But we have to end. I mean,
Hard test.
It's... Well,
I
I
think
say we...
that's all we want is our death.
I say we help Neon get his practice.
adds up to me though,
Mhm.
because I was thinking about it. Last time I checked, they didn't have anything like against us.
Against us.
Until we screwed up all their plans.
Yeah, but then they were like, "Oh, you're only a minor convenience," and then put us in the silo.
And then we escaped and screwed up their dragon plans.
Constitutes to kill us.
I mean, the thing is, they did say at one point that we were a minor inconvenience, but a lot has changed since then. And minor
The person
convenience.
that Kara talked to seemed to make it pretty clear that if we were spotted, it would be bad.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it just seems like all of a sudden they're trying to kill us. When last time I checked, it was just
Matthew, how long
Barbara
has it been
that
since
was
the silo?
Let me actually check. Give me just a second.
ow, Nebula.
It has been about about 3 months in total, or 2 months.
Oh,
A lot
not
can
very long.
change in 2 months. It's not all of a sudden.
I don't know. 2 months is not really that much of time.
Maybe
Said
for
the
you.
elf.
Like, maybe for you. It fits the character or the race.
Yeah.
But, we've done a decent amount to interfere. So
We were told if we spotted it's bad. End of discussion.
I also may have already spoken to him a couple days ago. I didn't tell him where we were. No, before he gets mad, I didn't tell him where we were, what we were doing, none of that. I was just telling him that I missed him and that it was a really, really sad day. And I was having a hard time coping, so I just wanted to talk to my brother.
okay.
That was before we came into Edict. That was when the dinosaur thing happened.
Okay.
So, that's it.
is the plan to stay the night at the Sweet Honey Hive and then make your way back to the Icar research facility to see if Neon can find anything helpful, and B, give Neon a chance to see how they can match up to Coulomb's hacking capabilities?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
that.
Stay the night, then head out.
Okay. In that case, the party regrouped, magic items in tow. Zephyr, as you lead the way to the Sweet Honey Hive, and a plan begins to form. Zephyr, having given a word you seem intent to keep to actually help defend the city. Neon, of course, having no intention of leaving your people behind, and the others all in line and ready to help. Coulomb holds the entire population of Edict in the palm of his hand, and from the sounds of it, it's going to come down to Neon's attempts, Neon's intimate understanding of the technology and their connection to it, versus Coulomb's sheer unmatched intellect and genius, with the lives of an entire city in the Underdark hanging in the balance. You may save everyone, or you may save no one, not even yourselves. Let's see how it goes.
Damn it.
That is where we're going to end tonight's session. We've talked about this. Stop it.
I just want to add more dramatic effect to it by adding another layer of voice.
Yeah, you want to add dramatic effect by being like, "Oh, that's gonna happen."
like guessing, even though it's either obvious or it's like.
And not like making fun of you.
If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/GrahamCrackers, GRAMECRACKERZ, for my Friday campaign, The Goldshine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of investigators investigating the cultish conspiracy that threatens to plunge their land into war. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info, resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer about to try and out-hack a genius.
Neon's not a necromancer.
At this point, the necromancer's just getting really creative. Resurrecting dead code.
I mean, the necromancer of bad memes.
Yeah, check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly and support our episodes posted on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, iHeart Podcast Network. It's a lot of places. You know where to find them. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 9:30 Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/OddTornadoProductions or Odd Tornado Productions on YouTube if you want to catch up on what you've missed. And check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That's 5 with a PH. Please don't forget it. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. About to post that link as well. Or on Ko-fi at kofi.com/OddTornadoProductions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd. TNO are in fact capitalized. If you like this party and want to see more of them, plus or minus a few, check out our Monday game, also taking place at 9:30 Central Daylight Time, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globe-trotting treasure hunters trying to gather the artifacts of the gods in order to unlock what is either a great valuable treasure or a terrible apocalyptic curse. One of the two. I think that's about it. So, Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks all of you at home.